Let's make a quite quick survey of the various drop-down menus. The File drop-down menu contains many of the usual things you would expect. Start a new drawing. There's a site setup wizard. If you click it, that enables you to, we can slide this up, to set the size and dimensions of a standard rectangular site. We'll quit from there, talk about it more later. Open, save, save as, print, and recent files that you've opened are all there in the list. That's somewhat similar to the Adobe range. Under Edit, we've got Undo and Redo. There's a reasonable size undo buffer, so you can step back through your drawing steps if you want and redo. Under Properties, if you select an item, you can find out the layer that it's on and colour and so on. We use clipboard cut, copy and paste when we are taking elements from this design and putting it on the Pages palette for printing out. Under Settings, you can set text styles and line type styles and manage your images and so on. Under View, there's an ability to zoom in and zoom out and pan your drawing, but we'll show you that that can be easily done using the mouse. Under Draw, you've got the standard draw commands, putting points in your drawing, lines, arcs, where you have a little forward arrow that gives you a whole series of new options, as it does with the circle option, and down with dimensioning, you have linear and aligned and radial dimensioning and so on. Under Modifier, you'll find the commands you use to edit your drawing. I didn't mention putting text in. You can put text in as single line text or as multiple line or paragraph text. Under Layers, you have two items, a dialog box, which allows you to create new layers, change the color of layers and line types of layers. And you have a layer order little palette, which enables you to change the stacking order of layers within the drawing. That's quite important when you want one group of plants to be a canopy above a different group of plants. Under Information, you can say, well, what's the diameter of this particular symbol I've got through here? You can see it's a 4-meter symbol. What are the size of these flat flagstone pavers that run through the design? What's the length of a window here? You can see a window in a wall. So information, distance from, I'll deal with this one now. snap end means I can snap to the end of a window. That's the end of an opening. Yeah, interestingly, I can't snap to the end of a window, so what I'll do here is turn off snaps just for the moment. There are other ways to handle this, but I'll say what's the distance from that point there across to there, and you can see there's two windows joined together. 3 meters is the distance. There are more accurate ways to pick that, but in this quick little survey, I don't want to further complicate issues. So Layers, under Information, you can do areas, area from a pick. Under the Library, you can run a plant selector, which enables you to pick a particular item and then pop it into the drawing just so. We also have standard items, general objects that you can put in your drawing, and this might be how to plant a particular plant or a group of people that you might use for an elevation view. Under Pages, that's where we cut material from here and put it onto an A1 sheet or an A0 sheet, whatever sheet we want to use for presentation. O-snaps are what we use to jump to particular points in a drawing. When you start, GardenCAD defaults to end O-snap. That means if I was drawing a line from here, I could jump to the end of that line there very, very easily and precisely. Under Help, you can go to our website if you wish, or find out something about the drawing there, and so on. So Help will give you some online help. Website obviously goes across the internet, and About just tells you which particular version you're using. So I hope that gives you a very quick idea of what's in those drop-down menus. I did mention that if you pick an item and right-click, you don't need to worry too much about some of those drop-down menus. Certainly we could copy the item from there to there. We could rotate the item from there and spin it around. You can see when an item is selected, you have quite a lot of options available to you. mirroring it, scaling it, and erasing it. So many of the commands are there and available when you select an item. Same applies to the view commands. I can now say, well, zoom a window and do that. Zoom extents, or repeat the zoom window. I'm going tighter and tighter in on the drawing, and I can wind the wheel of the mouse and go out in the drawing, all skills which you've already practiced. So that's the drop-down menus. We'll deal with specific commands as we go along.